Join us on Patreon and become part of our journey to uncover history's untold stories. Your support helps us create in-depth content, bring hidden narratives to life, and keep history alive for everyone.
History is often a mosaic, pieced together by fragments of recorded events, oral traditions, and cultural legacies. Yet, like any mosaic, some pieces are deliberately excluded, hidden, or erased. Among the rich and vibrant histories of the world, the Ouachita Nation, also spelled WASHITAW, stands as a testament to this erasure. Known as one of the oldest indigenous peoples of North America, the Ouachita Nation possesses a legacy that challenges conventional historical narratives, delving into realms of ancient sovereignty, cultural ingenuity, and resilience in the face of centuries of suppression. Their story, though often shrouded in mystery and misrepresentation, is a profound chapter in human history, one that deserves a rightful place in the collective consciousness. The Ouachita Nation traces its origins to the vast landscapes surrounding the Mississippi River and the Ouachita Mountains in what is now the southern United States. This land, with its sprawling rivers, fertile valleys, and abundant resources, was more than just home to the Ouachita people. It was the cornerstone of their cultural and spiritual identity. For thousands of years, they cultivated the land, built thriving communities, and forged a symbiotic relationship with the environment. The Ouachita saw the earth not as a commodity to exploit, but as a living entity, a sacred mother deserving respect and reverence. Long before the arrival of European settlers, the Ouachita people were known for their advanced agricultural practices, architectural achievements, and spiritual traditions. Their connection to the land was reflected in their sophisticated methods of irrigation, soil management, and crop cultivation, which ensured the sustainability of their communities. Archaeological evidence points to monumental earthworks and mounds constructed by the Ouachita, echoing the ingenuity of civilizations like the Olmecs and the Mississippians. These structures served not only as centers of social and political activity, but also as sacred spaces for rituals and ceremonies. Despite their historical significance, the Ouachita Nation's contributions to North American history have been systematically obscured. Colonial powers and their successors sought to erase indigenous identities, claiming vast swathes of land while suppressing the cultural and spiritual practices of the original inhabitants. For the Ouachita, this erasure was not merely an act of physical displacement, but an existential threat to their identity and sovereignty. Their sacred sites were desecrated, their oral histories dismissed, and their traditions reduced to whispers passed down in secret. The story of the Ouachita people's resilience is one of remarkable defiance against such erasure. Throughout centuries of colonization, slavery, and systemic oppression, they maintained a fierce commitment to their heritage. Their oral traditions, passed down through generations, served as a living archive of their history, preserving the knowledge of their ancestors. These stories speak of a people who thrived long before the advent of European colonization, who forged complex societies and trade networks that stretched across the continent. One of the most compelling aspects of the Ouachita Nation's history is its connection to the ancient mound-building cultures of North America. The Ouachita people are often associated with the great mound builders, whose monumental earthworks stand as silent witnesses to a lost era of human achievement. Among these is the Black Pyramid, also known as Poverty Point, an archaeological site in northeastern Louisiana that dates back over 3,000 years. This UNESCO World Heritage Site reflects a level of societal organization and engineering prowess that challenges mainstream historical narratives about pre-Columbian America. The Ouachita Nation's connection to the mounds is not merely a matter of ancestry, it is a living relationship. For the Ouachita people, the mounds are sacred spaces imbued with spiritual significance. They represent the intersection of the earthly and the divine, a place where the physical and metaphysical worlds converge. Rituals performed at these sites are acts of communion with their ancestors, a reaffirmation of their identity and continuity. Yet, even as the Ouachita people strive to preserve their heritage, they face persistent challenges. The denial of their sovereignty and identity is not just a relic of the past, but continuing reality. Legal battles over land rights, cultural preservation, and recognition have become a central part of their struggle. Despite these obstacles, The Ouachita Nation has refused to be silenced, asserting their rightful place in history and society. One of the most significant milestones in their modern history was the declaration of sovereignty by Empress Verdiesi Teeri Ouachita Turner-Gostin in the late 20th century. As the head of the Ouachita Nation, she became a prominent advocate for indigenous rights, challenging the United States government's claims to Ouachita lands. Her efforts brought international attention to the plight of the Ouachita people, highlighting the broader issue of indigenous sovereignty and self-determination. Under Empress Verdiesi's leadership, the Ouachita Nation reclaimed its status as a sovereign entity, emphasizing its historical and legal claims to vast territories in the southern United States. This assertion was rooted in both historical documentation and legal precedents, including treaties and land patents that predate the establishment of the United States. The Ouachita people's fight for recognition is not just about land. It is about affirming their identity, their history, and their place in the world. The erasure of the Ouachita Nation's history is emblematic of a broader pattern of historical suppression that affects indigenous peoples worldwide. It raises critical questions about the nature of history itself. Who gets to write history? Whose stories are deemed worthy of preservation, and whose are relegated to obscurity? The Ouachita people's struggle is a reminder that history is not a static record of the past, but a dynamic and contested terrain, shaped by power, politics, and perspective. In reclaiming their history, the Ouachita Nation is also reclaiming their future. Their efforts to preserve their cultural heritage, assert their sovereignty, and educate the world about their history are acts of resistance and resilience. Through art, storytelling, and activism, they are ensuring that their voices are heard and their legacy remembered. The Ouachita Nation story is not just an indigenous story. It is a human story. It speaks to the universal themes of identity, belonging, and the enduring struggle for justice. It challenges us to confront the uncomfortable truths of our collective past and to reimagine a future where all voices are valued and respected. As we uncover the erased history of the Ouachita Nation, we are reminded that the act of remembering is itself an act of defiance, a declaration that some stories cannot and will not be forgotten. In the end, the Ouachita Nation's legacy is one of survival and perseverance. It is a testament to the power of memory, the strength of culture, and the indomitable spirit of a people who refuse to be erased. As we delve deeper into their history, we are called to honor their contributions, acknowledge their struggles, and celebrate their resilience. The story of the Ouachita Nation is far from over. It is a living narrative that continues to unfold, inviting us all to be part of its telling.